Malta, a nation of islands, a nation with aviation heritage dating back nearly as far as aviation itself, a nation facing many adversaries over the years and also rich in diversity. This year I visited Malta International Airshow and I also visited Malta's Air Museum, and there's a few things we should chat about. So I'll take you through my journey around Malta, its museums and also the airshow itself, and we'll just have a bit of a conversation. So the museum, the Aviation Museum in Malta, is all the way up in Tlaxcali. I'm saying it probably wrong, but it's an old RAF base from World War II. It's not a base anymore. In fact, pretty much all of the 5 bases in Malta are gone except Lucca, which is now the international airport. And the museum, I think, is fantastic. It's my second time there. Last time I went actually with my dad, who knew someone there, and I got to sit in the Spitfire there. But we didn't think about asking my dad back again this year. But we just wandered around, and it's lovely. They've got a Spitfire and a Hurricane there. They've got a couple of wreckages from World War II as well. And then they've got a hangar full of aircraft pretty much donated, including one of my favourite aircraft, the Fiat 291, a couple of Meteors. It's a really, really lovely museum. And I think with Malta in particular, aviation was so prominent to its defence in World War II that it features everywhere. So even in Fort St Elmo, they have one of the gladiators out of Faith, Hope and Charity, which were famed to be the 3 gladiators that defended Malta. Obviously it wasn't quite as dramatic, I think, as it sounded. I mean, it was, but not just 3 gladiators. It was a bit more to it than that. But I remember growing up hearing the stories of, there were just these 3 gladiators and they defended the whole island of Malta throughout the war. And I grew up with that, and I'm not even from Malta. I wish I was. But yeah, it's a really lovely story. And it's present everywhere.
The Aviation Museum is set out across 3 separate rooms, or I guess hangars. This is the first one that you enter into with reception at the far end, and this is right at the back where the models are. So history in scale, and it's this little sort of room here, and then there is actually another cabinet around the corner. And I'm assuming that there's a model club that meets here because there's also a lot of models that they've kept in storage in their in one of their sort of presentation cabinets. So yeah, there's obviously quite a lot of fantastic dioramas here, including this one that won an award at Scale Model World. And there's a number of trophies from Scale Model World. I genuinely could not believe the level of detail and quality here. And it's nice to see a museum that places its models sort of in pride of place, I guess. It's got its own separate area. They've got really well lit up cabinets. Everything's signposted well, because quite often, particularly in British museums, they're just kind of shoved in a dusty cabinet in the corner to sort of take up space where there is a gap, rather than being an actual part of it. And I think it's really important, particularly with museums like Malta, where a lot of the history, like the airports, the air bases, is gone now. And having this representation to really show you, what was attacking Malta, what was defending Malta, what people were seeing on a daily basis there, I think it's really wonderful. And modelling is such an important part of preservation of history and making sure people understand what things look like, what things were. And I mean, there's a wide range of Italian aircraft, which we all know I love, so that also helps. But honestly, the level of detail here is amazing. I'll let you enjoy the rest of the models, and then we'll come back to you after. So this is the second cabin I was on about. It's just sort of around the corner from it. You won't miss it, but it has a load of models at the bottom as well. So presumably there is a club that meets it. If you're one of those people, I'd love to hear more about it and just know, because yeah, your work is amazing and it's just really cool. So this is like the historic hangar, I guess. This is World War II era. There's a DVD playing in the corner that you can go and watch that tells you about sort of the history of Malta, and one of the most congratulated pilots or decorated pilots of the Mediterranean theatre. There's 2 complete aircraft, a Spitfire and a Hurricane, and this wreckage of the F-109 as well. And then you have the main hangar, which has various aircraft from the Armed Forces of Malta, a couple of aircraft donated by one of the closest allies of Malta, which is Italy, and a number of RAF aircraft as well. Some of the aircraft obviously were formerly RAF and then Malta.
Okay, so we're going to deal with some shadowing because the sun, she is bright. So I think we need to have a little chat about the airshow because, oh my god. Firstly, this is my 3rd time coming to the airshow. I came back, the first time I ever came here was actually to see the Polish display team, who were doing one of their last sort of international performances before they were retiring the TS11. And that was, if you look over there, I don't know if you can see, I'll insert some footage, it is all the way in Smart City, which is like the other side. This year it was held at St. Paul's Bay, which I understand it was at last time in 2023, but I didn't attend unfortunately then. It was really okay getting there. We took one of the TD buses, that's a direct bus in Malta. And if you know anything about Malta Use transport, the schedule is sort of a guideline for when they might show up, rather than like a definitive. And that's fine, you know. I come from the UK where trains are also on a rough schedule. Oh, there's a little lizard. Sorry, there's lizards everywhere here. They're like one of the national animals here. To be honest, most of the time the buses have been fine. However, leaving the airshow, it took us 3 hours. The airshow finishes at 6. I was hoping to get back to my hotel probably 6:30, 7 o'clock, have a little shower, go for a swim, go to Valletta and have dinner. No, so we ended up waiting until 9 o'clock. We got an Uber initially. They tried to get to us, couldn't get to us, so we cancelled it. It then took another hour for us to get another one to arrive. And then that cancelled on us. So we walked further and further down the bay, kept trying to get one, couldn't get one, eventually got one. And I was sending messages to the Uber saying like, my phone's about to die, I've got really bad signal, please get to us, we're really, really struggling. And when we got in, he was like, I was going to cancel because the traffic is so bad and I was just going to go home. But I felt sorry for you because your messages. And we were like, well, thank God, because we would not have been able to get home otherwise. It was awful. I don't know what it was, but like all the buses were full as well. So we were next to a bus stop and no one could get on the buses. I will never again complain about Royal International Air Tattoo's traffic management. Not that I really ever did, but comparatively, it's night and day. That isn't to say that it was all bad. I think overall the airshow was really nice. The attendants were really good, so it was the Red Arrows and Solo Turf, I guess, were like the the highlights, but there were good presence from the Armed Forces of Malta and from the Italians as well, and also the Luftwaffe, where I saw Tornado fly probably maybe for the last time because they're about to be replaced. So it was really good. It's just ruined by awful traffic management to get out. I know I saw other people who pre-booked like Bolts and Ubers to get out, but everyone was just stuck in horrendous traffic. It was just awful. But other than that, it was good.
As is tradition in Malta, the Maltese Airshow opened with the Augusta Westland AW139 carrying the Maltese flag. In previous years, I've seen different helicopters carry this, so this was a refreshing change for me. The aircraft then went on to do its own little solo display, before being accompanied by two other aircraft that you'll see shortly.
Good afternoon, Colin. Good afternoon, everybody at the Malta International Airshow. My name's Loretto Spiteri. I had the honor of serving with the NFL between 1990 and 2018. And then I had the chance again to serve with them between 2019 and 2021 as a fixed-wing pilot at the Air Wing of the Armed Forces of Malta. This afternoon, the Air Wing is going to be demonstrating all three of their current types in service, starting with the Augusta Westland 139. The 139 is a medium-sized utility helicopter. It's deployed by the Armed Forces primarily as a rescue asset. The helicopter is capable of flying in all weathers and actually doing rescues in all weathers.
Larry, can you explain the Augusta and the Westland element of the name of the helicopter?
So basically the design of the helicopter was a partnership between Augusta Westland and other aircraft manufacturers in Europe. The aircraft are currently being finally assembled in Italy by Leonardo. So you will hear the 139 marker with different designators ahead of it.
How many crew members have you got on board?
So this afternoon the aircraft is being operated by Major James Vella, Captain Iona Muscat, Sergeant Charla Bonello Minuti, and Bombardier Evan Camilleri. On the co-pilot for today's flight, Captain Iona Muscat, is the second female pilot for the Armed Forces of Malta. Ever since
The first aircraft accompanying the AW139 is a Britten-Norman Islander. This aircraft is used by Malta for, patrol over the coast, and it has the ability to drop flares, which it demonstrated during the course of its little display. It was really lovely to see one of these aircraft, originally produced in Britain on the Isle of Wight, and I just don't see them enough. See them as static air shows, but not very often flying, and it looked beautiful in Maltese colours.
Call sign Lofty. His co-pilot is Warrant Officer First Class Keith Balson, call sign Flash, and their aircraft has been upgraded numerous times. Now it's featuring Rolls-Royce turboprop engines. The avionics have been upgraded, allowing the crew, basically eases the workload off of the crew. This vehicle, the surface vessels, things in the water. But one of the greatest capabilities of the Islander is its ability to fly slowly. The maneuverability and the power of the aircraft allow the aircraft to get down low, get a visual sighting of whatever the...
And of course, the secondary purpose of a flare is to give the...
If you look to your left now, you'll see the Islanders slow down. On the other side of the fuselage is a door that can be opened in flight, and the technician on board will start deploying flares into the water.
There they go. 4 flares out.
Low over the sea.
After the flares had been dropped, we saw a King Air flying over in order to find where the people who had been dropped to be rescued. This was referred to by the commentator as the Swiss Army knife of the Maltese air arm, and it's quite easy to see why. It's probably their most advanced aircraft with all the bells and whistles attached.
Has a 360-degree field of view that lets the system operators inside the aircraft get a close-up look without the aircraft having to deal. The patrols are flown a bit slower than that at about 180 knots just to increase the range of the aircraft. Also, the aircraft has the capability to loiter or to go to extended search areas. The aircraft is capable of climbing and operating up to flight level 270, so that's about 27,000 feet, saving a lot of fuel and extending the range of the aircraft. It can then descend and conduct a search very far from the coast. The Italian Coast Guard, the French Air Naval, so it is all a joint effort, and the King Air has the performance and the capability to allow us to perform with the other nations.
There were 2 displays by Eurofighters at the International Malta Airshow 2025, both of them actually coming from the Luftwaffe. It's more common in the UK to see German examples flying, but it has become more common, I guess, in recent years. But it was lovely to see 2 different displays displaying the dynamic capabilities of the Eurofighter. One had a much more vertical display, one had a tighter display. I thought it was really interesting to see such different displays by almost identical aircraft.
141 of this type of aircraft are in service with the Luftwaffe. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eurofighter Typhoon, one of 2 in the air display of the Malta International Airshow 2025.
This display today going between 200 feet and 4,500 feet.
As you're probably noticing as well, unfortunately my camera could not keep up with the focus. There's probably a setting I need to change, and I'll work that out for the next time I attend Malta's International Airshow. But I've tried to cut around it the best I can, and at least you see the aircraft quite well.
Absolutely, Kev. It's the stuff that dreams are made of. Ladies and gentlemen, this example from the German Air Force. This is very unusual, I think.
most anticipated display at the International Malta Airshow 2025 has to have been Solo Turk. Cancelled on the Saturday due to the severe weather, this aircraft only displayed on the Sunday, and it was a fantastic display. I've seen this so many times at the Royal International Airshow, but it was really special over the seas of Malta.
We are ready. Lieutenant Murat Bakucin.
And don't worry, there was a lot of merch available from Solo Turk. I ended up buying my second Solo Turk t-shirt, which I love, and the capabilities of the F-16 are displayed fantastically. This was really special, an Italian Coast Guard rescue demonstration with their ATR Manta patrol aircraft, and then having another Augusta Westland come in and do the actual sea rescue. The ATR Manta will drop the flares into the ocean, and then the helicopter will drop someone in order to rescue it. So I'll let you enjoy the whole rescue operation experience.
Typical manoeuvres that highlight its stability, efficiency, further. And there we are. You see that flare being dropped there, is popped. We're just waiting for the smoke.
And it's a different kind of flare.
Here comes the 139, the rescue.
Coming in from the left, the helicopter from the Italian Coast Guard, similar to the Armed Forces of Malta's helicopter, different livery.
Wow, that's a great photo opportunity. And there's the rescue diver deposited. And the precision flying that requires is immense. You saw how low they get over the water. Especially if you've got
And in goes the diver.
Whilst this display by the Italian Coast Guard comes to a close, I thought I'd let you know that there were actually 2 other displays I missed. There was another AW139 display, and there was also another King Air display. Unfortunately, I needed to go and get myself a drink in the blistering heat and another ice cream, so I didn't actually get to record these. But we've at least seen the types during the course of sort of the overall display, so hopefully it's okay that I've missed these, but I just wanted you to know that they did display that day.
And a top speed of more than 300 kilometres per hour with an operational ceiling of over 20,000 feet.
Wave, everyone! Ah, that's so lovely. But it is such a handsome machine. The
last pass.
Look ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome the Tornado.
The Tornado, and it's probably one of the last times I'll ever see a tornado display, which breaks my heart, especially that my camera just could not keep in focus. I clearly had changed some sort of setting, but hopefully you enjoy the bits and pieces that I did manage to catch, including a really special fly past with the Tornado and Eurofighter together.
Saudis Air Force also had
Combat aircraft. Up till that point, many aircraft were designed for one purpose only. The trend to design aircraft that had multiple capabilities, like this one.
and its versatility is further enhanced by the sophisticated avionics and weaponry systems that it has. It's got an advanced radar and targeting systems, which allows it to operate efficiently in
design input from engineers in the United Kingdom, Germany and Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, Tornado and Typhoon together. Once again, yes, round of applause. Thank you for all you did for us.
The French Navy was here as well, with this example of a Falcon doing a couple of lovely flypasts. Another friend of the Maltese Airshow, I've seen display here before, not just the naval, I mean the French Air Force as well, where I saw a Alpha Jet perform before. And then we move on to the second of our Luftwaffe Eurofighter displays. A really fantastic display, probably one of my favourite ever Eurofighter displays. But then, of course, after this, we only have one thing that can top Eurofighters, and that is the red arrows, a Maltese favourite. So here they are.
The 2025 Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team is arriving at over 600 kilometers an hour, trailing our famous red, white and blue. Red one pulls the team up, which indicates he's starting the show full. And immediately you can see 6 and 7 collapse as well as 8 and 9 to form our world famous Diamond Line. Reaching heights of over 2,000 metres, the aircraft starts to slow down before coming back towards the display height and twisting. Kilometers an hour before red one brings them round to the left. You can hear those commands from red one almost robotic and monotone in its delivery because we fly our formation by ear rather than by eye. That means on the left hand side of that center step is red 3, flight attendant Anthony McEwen, known as Maka. Maka is also in his first year on the team. Roll around the rest of the formation, but watch for the colour change as red one brings them down the line. As we start the second half, we start with the very popular 5-4 split. 5, known as Number 5, roll goes. Number 5 rolls around the rest of the smoke of the formation. Red 5 is flight attendant Dustin Wales, known as Dusty. He's a former Typhoon pilot and reserve with 11 squadron. Red 6 and 8 to your left. Now rolling hard away from Heritage on the Hawk T-Mark II. And of course, we'd like to dedicate today's Hawk the fantastic relationship between the United Kingdom and Malta. Malta over 600 kilometres an hour, hill twists to the right. Another fantastic photo opportunity. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready. It's the vertical break. Simply called the Serpent. Another great chance to see the famous red, white and blue. That colour smoke is only capable due to the smoke hole. Legacy 9, hiding the smoke of 6 and red 7 in the Tempest. As red 1 pulls them up for the palm split. Because Malta, it's been an honour and a pleasure. Please put your hands together for the 2025 Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team. It's the
Oh my god, there is a bus tour that is using that AI voice that you always hear. Like, okay, pop off, I guess. So, there is a model set in Valletta, and I'm not gonna like show much of it because they said we couldn't film there, and also they were kind of rude to the people who came in afterwards, and not, I don't know, it was a very off vibe. And also, like, they had nothing new in there. It was literally like, you know those Airfix kids models? I built a helicopter of it ages ago. They actually have the one I've been looking for ages, but I don't really want to give them my money because they were just not, I don't know, it was a really odd experience. But I ended up buying a model from there because I was like, I really want to buy a model whilst I'm in Malta and Valletta. But they had no other models, like no new Airfix kits, no new Revell kits, no new artillery kits, nothing. It was a really, really odd experience. I felt really bad for the people coming in after me as well. It was just, I don't know, really odd. So if you're in Valletta, maybe don't go there. There is another shop, hopefully I've got some footage of it I can put in, which sells more sort of nerd culture, gamer culture stuff. They sell some Warhammer in there, but yeah, it wasn't great. And yeah, it's a shame. It's really odd because the Air Museum had so many models, and I assume there's obviously more, like Malta isn't just Valletta, it's I mean, for a start, like there's Malta and Gozo, and there's like multiple cities and towns throughout, and I assume there's probably something elsewhere. If not, maybe it's people get them just ordered online. I'm not really too sure, but it seemed like such a shame that there's not more because there's clearly a passionate modeler community here. There was like multiple IPMS trophies in the cabinet at the Aviation Museum, so it just feels like such a missed opportunity, but maybe it's just there's not enough people who are really into modelling here to warrant it. But even at the airshow yesterday, the commentator, I can't remember her name unfortunately, they were a local radio host, and they sort of said, well, you know, I grew up building airfix kits and, you know, that got me really into aviation, and like almost everyone there seems to have built models, so it seems odd. I wonder if airfix have any suppliers on the island, but it seems like such a shame because it's Malta, it's so iconic for aviation. So I guess overall, like, I absolutely love Malta and I definitely want to come here again. I mean, look at the sky, the sea, everything. Malta is just fantastic. And I just couldn't be happier than when I'm here. Although, maybe next time I won't get my hair done a really light colour so it fades, because the pink's still there at the roots, but not the light pink at the bottom. But no, I really, really love Malta and I cannot wait to be here again. So overall, for me staying in Malta, I am staying in a lovely hotel called the Grand Excelsior Hotel. It's a bit bougie, but that's where I stayed last time when my parents came. My first ever time I stayed in Sliema in like the cheapest ship hotel. But this time I want to stay somewhere a bit nicer just because it's a bit of a celebratory time that's coming here. Because, you know, I've been through a lot over the years and this is a really nice way for me to celebrate sort of getting through the other side of a lot of it. Now, the hotel's not technically in Valletta, but basically is. It's in Floriana, which is right next to Valletta. You basically walk up a hill and you're at Valletta bus station and then the gates of Valletta. So you can get in within about 10 minutes. It's quite a steep hill though, so bear that in mind. I really loved being in Malta. It's probably one of my favourite places on earth and I definitely want to be here again. The hotel itself is really nice. It has an outdoor pool. But it also has a little area segregated for the harbour. You can go and spin up to 25 metres out, and it's beautiful crystal clear waters. It's just really lovely. Lots of fish swimming around with you as well. And the hotel has like lots of facilities which I don't really use them. I'm pretty much sort of sit on the balcony whilst I'm drying off maybe, or doing my makeup, and then use the pool and the sort of swimming in the harbour bit in the evening. But other than that, it's pretty much going out as much as possible. We spent the majority of our time just exploring museums or just walking around, and we're actually filming this on our last day. And I absolutely adore Malta, and I really hope to be here again soon. Hopefully it's not going to be 8 years, but it's been 8 years since I was last here. And both a lot has changed and not a lot has changed. But I'll definitely be here for the next airshow. I'm hoping that the organisation, not of the airshow itself, but of the transport is better, but Maltese transport. Because it's just such a fantastic event. It brings so many people in. There were people who'd come from Hungary, Belgium, who sat next to people from Germany and Slovakia. Although I will say, if you were the person who was sat next to me, who just stood up the entire time when everyone else sat down just to film and to photograph, why? And you were doing it on a phone. Like, I'm all for everyone being able to do what they want to do, but oh my god, you drove me insane. And at one point I stood up as well to try and film something and got in the way of someone else. And I was like, well, I'm just going to miss out on things then because it's not fair for me to do it to other people. So please sit down next time. Anyway, that's the only angry part of this video. Yeah, no, otherwise, I really love Malta. I love being here. My partner, who's a modeller, seems to love it as well. And yeah, I'll definitely be back. We also need to talk about, I guess, me a little bit. And there's a reason why I keep coming back to Malta. So for those of you who've watched my channel for a while know that I've been through many not great relationships, shall we say. In fact, the first time I came to Malta was in one of those not great relationships. And then the second time I came was after that had just ended. And I did about whether or not I should talk about the whole relationship and why they were bad and what went wrong. And I have done that a little bit. I've done that on the vlogs that I had historically on this channel. But I don't really want to anymore. I'm kind of over it all. I've had a lot of counselling, a lot of therapy. And I'm just kind of like, it's fine, I'm over it now. I still have my bad days. I still have times where like things just feel not as good as they should do, or times where like I think it could be better. But ultimately, like, I'm in a better place now. I have a good relationship, both with myself, both spiritually, and obviously with my amazing partner, Mr. Modeler. So, yeah, coming back to Malta, I guess, to me was replacing one of the last bad memories I had. I'm really glad that I can be here. And I mean, if I look at this place, like, look how amazing it is. Like, who wouldn't want to come here and have an amazing time? So yeah, Malta is a complicated place to me. I have a complicated relationship with it, just mentally. But it's definitely been getting better, and I can't wait to come back here next time without any of the weight on my shoulders, where the only baggage I'll have will be the stuff I take on the plane with me.
A shout out goes to all of my channel members. Whether you're a starter kit or advanced kit level member, you help keep the channel going. A special shout out goes to my advanced kit level members, including Bernie Hagyard, Julian Hall, Son of a Gun, Bobby G, Dafty Duck, Bob and Genevieve Albridge, Gavin Blackburn, Marcus Cranfield, David Barber, Techers365, Jeff's Dioramas, and the two longest supporting advanced kit level members, Explosive Water and Crazy Locha. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here today, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I know this is a bit of a different video for me, but I do model making and model related content almost every other week. And most importantly, have a great day. Bye!